Welcome to Big Money Sales Moves, the podcast for powerhouse coaches, consultants, and entrepreneurs who are ready to scale with confidence and consistent cash flow. I'm your host, Karissa Atkins, speaker, author, and creator of the $1 Million Sales Matrix. Here is where we break through the industry lies that keep women overworked and underpaid. Say goodbye to bro tactics and burnout, and hello to alpha queen strategies. Sales, premium client attraction, and CEO-level leadership that makes scaling simpler, faster, and more profitable. If you're ready to step into your $1 million era and make your next big money move, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Hello, ladies. Welcome back to another episode of Big Money Sales Moves, the show where women step into their $1 million era through identity, strategy, and of course, CEO level energy. So today we're talking about a topic that every single coach struggles with at some point on their entrepreneurial journey. Today we're talking lead generation. And more specifically, why coaches are losing tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars every single year because their lead generating strategy is either non-existent, or it's chaotic, or it's leaking. And listen, this is not about hustling harder in 2026. It's not about posting more, being on every single platform, or screaming into the void. No. This episode is about the real problems happening behind the scenes, the ones nobody wants to talk about or admit. And then I'm going to walk you through the exact 4 lead generating pathways that I am going to be committing to in 2026. Because ladies, less is more. All right. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to dive right in. If you have any questions, you know how to follow me. Shoot me a message, a DM, an email. There's so many resources that I'm going to be dropping in today. I cannot wait for you to get your hands on them. So let's just dive right in. Get your pen and paper out because you know how this girl rolls. No bullshit, real strategies to help you actually move the needle forward when it comes to growing your company in 2026. So I want to kind of talk about the real lead gen problem that so many coaches and consultants and healers and digital service-based entrepreneurs are facing right now. And I want to start by naming some of the real problems in this industry, the ones that most women are silently battling but feel embarrassed to say out loud. Okay, so a common problem that we are seeing in today's market with so many of the coaches that come to work with us is the number one thing is no consistent pipeline full of leads. Okay, most coaches are waking up every day saying, I need clients, right? But they have no predictable way of bringing in leads. They are literally relying on luck. They're hoping that their content's going to go viral. They're, relying on emotional energy spikes, right? Like, oh, today I feel motivated, tomorrow I don't, right? Or a rush of this sense of motivation. And ladies, that's not a business. That is like a slot machine, right? When you don't have a system for generating new leads week after week, you will always feel behind, stressed, and under pressure. And you will never really trust yourself fully in your business to grow it and to take it to the next level. So problem number 1 is that you don't have consistent leads coming into your sales pipeline. Okay. Problem number 2 is that we're seeing is the opposite problem, right? Of not any leads, no leads coming in. The opposite problem is too many leads, but a leaky pipeline. So some of you are listening today and you actually have so many leads coming in, right? They're coming in off your LinkedIn articles and newsletters. They're coming off of, your social media and your content, your email newsletter. They're coming in off your podcast, your books, your speaking events, right? And all of these leads are coming in and they're coming in too fast. You can't keep up with them. And what starts to happen is they start to leak out of like a pipeline, right? If we imagine a pipe and a pipe that was just bursting and about ready to burst, right? It's got water kind of leaking everywhere. That's what's happening with your pipeline. Why? Well, because your system isn't clean. You don't have a nurturing plan. You don't have a follow-up process. You don't have a way to track or deepen connections. You don't have a very clear buyer journey. And this is why so many coaches say, I'm doing everything and nothing is converting. It's not because the leads weren't good. It's because there was nowhere for them to go land, a place for you to nurture and eventually convert into a conversation and a sales call and then into your programs and offers. Okay, that's a huge problem. I literally just got off of a VIP call with a client, and in 30 minutes, we mapped out her four lead generating activities that she's going to focus on for the next 90 days, because she is ready to start calling in $50,000 by the end of March, right? So just imagine for her, 3 months from now, her bank account is going to be $50,000, fatter. And of course, she is hoping to really work with anywhere from 20 to 30 new clients in a group coaching program that she's launching in January. So just think about the impact that she's also going to be able to create. 30 minutes, right? We created four strategies. We created her list of 10 sales generating activities that she needs to be doing every single day in order to be generating that many conversations just to get to 10 to 15 sales calls a month so that she can close those numbers. Okay. So that's what we can do in like 30 minutes with my clients. It's easy and it's painless. Okay, so problem number three is attracting the wrong types of leads. Oh my gosh, this one is so freaking painful. So this is for the coach who is posting, you're showing up, you're visible online. People are literally DMing you. People are commenting on on your profiles and your content. People are joining your email list. But then when you get to a sales call, they're not buying. They're not ready. They're not committed. They're shopping, not deciding. They want the discount version of your brilliance. They don't match your standards or your value. And suddenly you're finding yourself burnt out, not from business, but with working with all the wrong people. And I know that seems crazy, but if you've never worked with the wrong types of people, you are in for a real treat. Like, just take my advice, like, get super crystal clear on who you want to work with, why you want to work with them, and the problems that you solve. Like, don't try and work with everybody because that's exactly what will give you a headache and cause so much unneeded stress in your business. Because I'm telling you guys, working with the wrong types of people literally drain your energy, your bank account, and you end up like regretting working with these people. Like, I've probably gone through maybe 15 of these types of clients. I'm like, how did you sneak past my radar? But hey, they did it. I'm a human. After hundreds of sales calls closed, I would say I have a handful of women who have snuck past my indicator lights that, my intuition said, Karissa, don't do it. And then you do it. And then, oh my God, you're like 3 months later, they're canceling their contracts. They're trying to, do all the things. You're like, girl, no, right? Like, just do yourself a favor and don't work with the wrong types of leads. But if you are pulling in these types of leads, it's because your content is not positioning you for the type of people you want to work with, right? Or it's not positioning you to be that higher level authority. So people are coming into your sales calls and they're like, what? $5,000, $20,000? You're insane. How dare you charge this much? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, girl, it's because your content was speaking to the broke ass struggling coach, right? Or the broke ass person, not the person who's literally trying to invest in a coach such as you. So, yeah, if that's your problem, you need to switch up your marketing, your branding, your message, and you really have to hone in on who you want to serve. All right, problem number four that I am seeing across the board is not knowing how to convert a lead into a buyer. Now, obviously, this one is a big one. B-I-G, big one, right? So you get the DM, you get the comment, you get the inquiry. Someone says they're interested, and then you freeze. Over, right? You over explain, you under explain your services, or you spend 25, or you send them like a 25 paragraph essay back in the DMs, and they're like, oh my God, I don't even have time to read that, right? Or self-sabotage can sneak up. Whew, worse yet, you give them so much free coaching in the DMs or on your discovery call that they no longer even need to hire you, right? So your lead conversion is a skill. And the beautiful part about learning how to convert a cold lead into a hot and ready buyer and then into a client is it's a learnable skill. And most coaches have never been trained on actual sales, right? They've never been trained on activities that drive sales. They've never been trained on sales processes, sales systems, walking the buyer through a journey. Every single journey is the same every single time, right? They've never been taught how to onboard their clients properly so that expectations are in line, like all of it, right? You've never been taught that. So it's not your fault. However, you knowing that sales and conversion and the lack of you being able to convert a sales call, that is a problem. And now that you know about it, girl, you have got to do something about it in 2026 Otherwise, you might as well pack up your shit and go back and work for somebody else if you're not going to really hone the skill of sales. Okay. And out of all of those problems, here's what it's really costing you, right? These lead gen problems are costing coaches at least $100,000 a year in profit and an impact. Right? Not hypothetically, not exaggerated. A leaking lead generating system means $100,000 in missed opportunities, hundreds of thousands of dollars in clients who will never buy, hundreds of thousands of dollars of sales that you'll never convert, hundreds of thousands of dollars in untapped potential, not to mention all the referrals that these people are going to bring into your, into your business. This is why 2026 cannot be the year that you try everything and hope that something sticks. Guys, stop throwing spaghetti at the damn wall. Figure out what you're really good at, figure out the lead generating pathways that are actually working for you, and go deeper, not wider, right? 2026 is the year of less, is the year of less, it's the year of done, and it's the year of better, right? Which leads me to the 4 lead generating pathways that I am 100% committed to. And over the next 6 to 12 months, you are going to be seeing a lot of this from me. So 2025 showed me something super massive. When I focused on fewer, deeper social media channels, my business grew faster, my energy held stronger, and my clients got better results. So when you stop scattering your energy across 20 platforms and instead channel your brilliance onto the right ones, everything compounds just like interest. So in 2026, I am committed to just 4 lead generating pathways. And we call these pathways in our $1 million sales matrix, we call them the highways, the highway systems to success. Because if we want to have $1 million business, there's about 1 million different highways that we could take in order to get there, right? Some people love social media, some people don't. Some people freaking thrive on a stage and can literally make hundreds of thousands of dollars on a stage. Some people can't even say their name without, sweating and, getting nervous and showing up visibly like that. So every business is different. It's just like a body, right? Everybody is so different. Every business is so different. And there's about 100 different ways that you can grow your business in 2026. Now, with that in mind, there are 4 pathways that I'm going to talk about today that have literally, I've been doing these pathways even last year, honestly, even though last year I tried to do a couple of extra things and I was like, this shit never works. Why did I want to try it? So don't make that mistake. Remember, less is more. So if you don't have your pen and paper out yet, you're going to want to get one. If not, just bookmark this 13 minutes into the show, come back and listen to it. Because yeah, we're about to go into some game changing strategies that are going to actually help you, do less and gain more from all of the less overwhelm, right? Okay. So in 2026, I'm committed to 4 things. Number 1 is speaking. Stages, workshops, live events, retreats, like this is where my coaching business is going, right? I absolutely love stages. I love running workshops. I'm hosting my very first 200 women empowerment event in Nebraska in March. I'm doubling down on retreats, right? We've only ever hosted 4 retreats a year for our clients. We're going to open a couple of these up to potential like women who literally are like, I need support in this area and I want to come to your retreats. We're doing more mastermind days. We're doing, networking events, all kinds of things. But at the end of the day, speaking is like my love language. Speaking is my number 1 lead generating focus in 2026. And if you're asking why, because nothing converts like being in the room. When people feel your conviction, when they hear your story, when they see your energy on stage, when they experience your leadership live, you collapse the trust timeline instantly. So speaking for me generates qualified leads, warm leads, leads who already trust me, and leads who say, I want to be in your world. Like I said, whether it's an in-person event, a virtual summit, a podcast, guest workshops, master classes, retreats, events, panels, collaborations, it doesn't matter. Speaking is my highest ROI lead generating channel for coaches and female leaders. Okay. And this is honestly one of the lead generating strategies that so many women avoid because it requires visibility, it requires courage, and it requires identity expansion. But this is where the magic is. This is where the magic is. So, one of the things that, like I said, I'm going to go into a little bit more in this year is retreat specific, right? Because I could tell you about all the stages that I'm getting hired for. I just booked another $10,000 stage. Well, they booked me, and it's a $10,000 international stage for me. So this is just me getting to show up, share my brilliance with leadership, sovereign leadership, and I get paid to do it. Like, how amazing is that, right? And I love all kinds of stages, guys. I pay to play, and I also get paid and then I also do some free ones for, where I swap out my time, in exchange for other things. Okay. So I absolutely love speaking. But the one thing that I really, really talk on right now is retreats. Right? Retreats is and can be a really high lead generation for you. Okay. So retreats specifically, right? Like I said, I'm doubling down on retreats and events because retreats and in-person experiences convert more deeply than anything else. And this is exactly why I created a brand new lead magnet that's going to support you. Okay, it's called the Alpha Queen Retreat Planner. It's your ultimate guide and cheat sheet for creating transformational, profitable retreats. Okay, this guide I created because I got so sick and tired of about the fourth DM a couple of months ago when like women were thinking about running retreats. They just kept asking like, Karissa, how are you selling out your retreats? How are you, going to Punta Cana? How are you doing Arizona retreats? Like, how are you selling out retreats and creating such epic experiences? And I was like, oh my God. And, after about the fourth or fifth person that I spent about 15 minutes on Facebook, sending, voice notes back and forth with, I was like, screw it. I'm just going to create an ultimate cheat sheet. And it literally is something that I have used to go from zero clients to 10, 10 sold out retreats. Guys, every single one of my retreats is sold out. And not because it's in fun places like Punta Cana, but it's because of the magic that retreats get to create, right? The magical space that create retreats. I mean, I just got back from one in Nebraska where we had five CEOs of their companies. All we worked on nothing but identity, frequency, and mindset elevation. It was so beautiful. It was so much fun. It was one of my favorite retreats, honestly. Okay, so grab that resource. It's of course in the show notes below. Okay. If you're catching this live, you can just send me a DM, just say retreats, and I will definitely send you, that amazing workbook. Okay, so that was pathway number one, was ultimately speaking. Okay, so I want you to ask yourself who would you have to become in order for you to start speaking on stage more? Okay, who would you have to become in order for you to start speaking on stage more? A confident led leader, like who? Who do you need to be? Okay. All right. I'm not going to go into podcasting. The second way that I really want to talk about that we are really focusing in on is our Alpha Queen newsletter. Okay. This is like the Alpha Queen Insider Report. So your newsletter is your warmest audience. Okay. The people who already chose to stay in your world. Okay. And unlike social media, your newsletter isn't fighting the algorithm. It's not fighting the trends. It's not fighting this all the noise on social media, right? It's just pure connection. So tip number one here, guys, is if you don't have a newsletter, you need to start thinking about it. It's owned space. So when we think of social media and we think of an email newsletter list, right? Social media is rented. It's like a rental apartment. It could literally be taken away from you at any point in time. 2025 showed us that. For 5 to 6 months, I think it was closer to 6 months, Meta took me down because someone hacked my account and was doing all kinds of terrible things that evaded, like all of Facebook's rules and things like that. And all of a sudden, I got an email. Literally, it was like, bye, Felicia, you don't get your accounts. And I was like, what the F, right? So we obviously quickly pivoted over to LinkedIn. But I'm telling you this, guys, because social media is rented space. You don't own it. Okay, so all the leads that you're collecting in your Facebook group, all the leads that you're collecting and having conversations with the DMs, you don't own any of that. It could literally be swooped up and taken from you at any point in time. Okay. So a newsletter is like it's a house that you own. You get to build it, you get to nurture it, you get to love on it. And it's pure connection. So in 2026, the Alpha Queen Insider newsletter becomes, super value first, story driven. type content, right? We're going to spotlight our clients. We're going to show social proof of what's working in the industries and what's not. This is a place where I get to share my top frameworks, my awesome mindset activation tracks. Okay. It's ultimately your newsletter is a place where you get to nurture the deepest trust with your connections. Okay. Your list is the closest thing to generating lots and lots of sales this year. Okay. So if you don't have a list, start working that, start building it. And if you do have a list, then you need to optimize it or at least do some CEO power time with your marketing department and say what's working, what's not, what links are being clicked in. Did our Black Friday offers work? Like you need to be diving into your stats and statistics and analytics on email just as much as you do your social media. Okay, so pathway number three that we are really focused in on, of course, is going to be social media. I don't bag on it to bag on it, guys, but it is rented space. So when it comes to social media, right, a common problem is that a lot of coaches and entrepreneurs are trying to be on every platform, right? That's like strategy trend jumping. They're like, oh my God, I need to be on TikTok. Oh my God, I need to be on this. Oh my God. And I'm like, Twitter, do they even have Twitter still? Like those are like this, all of it, right? So we are choosing three social media platforms to really dive into. Now, we have already mastered Facebook and LinkedIn, but the third one we're really going after this year and we're diving deeper into is, of course, YouTube. Why? Because it's a Google search engine. So, yes, if you were my client and you felt all over the place when it comes to social media, I would say quit trying to be everywhere and just pick two platforms, right? Not five, not seven, not all of them, just two. And for us, it's Facebook, right? Your warm lead playground, your community, your conversations, your relationship building, all of that is happening on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Okay. So I want to dive in just a little bit deeper to some of the strategies that we're going to use in our on our social media. Okay. So strategy number one is really comes down to the group ecosystem approach. Okay. Your group and others groups. So a lot of coaches treat Facebook groups like parking lots. They show up once in a while, drop a post, and leave. I have a client, she showed up on last Thursday, right? And she said, "Oh my God, I have a group, a private community." She said over 2,500 members. I'm like, "Oh my God, this is a gold mine." She's like, "Yeah, but I haven't posted in there in over a year." And I'm like, "What the?" Right? So I obviously helped her create a re-engagement campaign when it comes to that group because that's like a gold mine that she was sitting off of. And I can't wait for her to bring in $10,000, $20,000 with just that gold mine. So, anyways, I'm not just talking about your group, I'm talking about other people's groups. Okay. So, inside your group, this is your free community. This is where you're showing value. You're leading, like thought leadership conversations, weekly trainings, polls, questions, client spotlights. I mean, talk about the problems, not just the dream outcomes. Create a culture of action, identity, and daily deposits. All right. So, groups on Facebook are going to be making a comeback. They are gold mined if you know how to use them. Okay. I obviously have an insider tip when it comes to using other groups, but I'm not going to dive into that today. If you want to know, just send me a message and I will let you know. All right. So the strategy number two, right, with social media is what we call brand awareness and profile optimization. So a lot of coaches have it's like chaotic profiles with mixed messaging, outdated bios, and irrelevant posts. Right. So 2026 is the year of profile cleanup. Update your cover photo with a brand promise. Update your bio with a transformative driven headline. Add your lead magnet, add your call to actions, make your profile a landing page, not just a scrapbook. Okay, I don't care what platform you use, guys. Just make sure that your brand's message is the same across everyone. Just because you're over on LinkedIn doesn't mean it needs to be different from Instagram, Pinterest, or anywhere else, right? People want to see a cohesive brand, not like, oh, she's a business coach over here. Oh, she's a strategist over there. Like, pick your shit and like run with it, right? So this obviously works because your Facebook profile or your main profile becomes a sales page for you. So every new friend, every new follower, or every comment becomes a lead. Okay. And then the third and last strategy I will dive into today when it comes to like diving deeper into social media. So it was like, if you had to think about what I'm giving you today, it's like the outer layer, and then we just get smaller and smaller and smaller with what is actually working inside social media. Anyways, okay. So the next strategy is daily content that speaks to the problem, not to the bliss. So a lot of coaches post a lot of fluffy shit, right? Freedom, bliss, manifestation, but they never really address the real problems. 2026 content must speak to the pain, the frustrations, the stuck points, the decisions, the mindset shift beliefs, the self doubt, right? We need to be able to say, I see you, this is what you're experiencing, and oh, by the way, I am the expert in this field. Okay. So some daily posts, and first of all, I guess if you're not even posting daily, then you need to get your butt in gear. Like different platforms require different strategy and different posting cadences. We on Facebook, we post anywhere from 2 to 3 times a day when we think stories, posts, things like that. Over on LinkedIn, it's one article and like 3 posts per week. YouTube, we obviously do like, a live show here, as well as other live content. So every platform is going to be a little different. You do need to pick the platform that you love to work it on. Okay, so but some daily post themes would be problem, pain, talk about what's actually keeping them up at night, talk about mistakes, common misceptions, myths, identity gaps, sales mindset shifts, right? What my best clients do differently, things like that. Get people to really start to notice you. Okay. Okay, so I've got tons of strategies when it comes to LinkedIn. Oh my gosh, like how to optimize your profile so that you are seen as the authority. I've got so many incredible resources, guys. You're just gonna have to book a call with me. I'd love to, speaking of calls, I'd love to have a call with you. If you are looking to invest in a coach or a mentor, I would love to have that conversation. Let's see if the Alpha Queen Collective and you are a good fit for one another. I promise you, I won't sell you if I don't think that I can help you, because I know by now who I want to work with and who I don't. All right, so I'm going to kind of skip my last kind of LinkedIn strategies, guys. But again, if you are looking to expand your brand via LinkedIn, book a call with me. I'd be happy to just kind of share some of these ways that we're really seeing, work in our industry and in the space over on LinkedIn as well. So, anyways, so here's what I want you to see, guys. Speaking brings in new warm leads. A podcast show like mine, right, deepens trust or moves them closer. I know I didn't really mention that, but podcasting is one of the ways in which we are diving deeper into. Obviously, we're here. Our newsletter, right? Our newsletter nurtures, educates, and shifts identities. Sales calls get booked, and of course, low ticket offers can be sold, right, in your newsletter. And then, of course, social media, which is your daily visibility, conversations, and sales calls get booked. So every pathway feeds the other. This is an ecosystem, not a hustle cycle. And when you learn pillar number 5 of the $1 Million Sales Matrix, which is called GSD protocols, you actually learn how to set up and optimize your calendar so that these types of things can all be done in 90 minutes or less. And then, boof, you're out of there, right? You get to go do fun shit for the day. So, anyways, if today's episode made you realize you need a cleaner, simpler, more profitable lead gen strategy in 2026, then here is your invitation. First of all, download the Alpha Queen Retreat Planner. You're going to want that if you're looking to host retreats in 2026. I want to encourage you to join the Alpha Queen Collective, whether you're just getting started as a brand new baby entrepreneur or you're a seasoned 7-figure coach like myself, right? Cash flow codes is perfect for beginners. Gorgeous Goddess and Prosperous Princess are perfect for seasoned entrepreneurs. And my high level sovereign leadership mastermind is perfect for the woman who's ready to really step into big expansion this year. Okay. But either program, it all starts with a call with me because I don't just work with anyone. I get to be picky and choosy in 2026. And I absolutely love, when I get to work with aligned clients. So, anyways, ladies, thank you so much for listening. This is your Big Money Sales Moves podcast show. Share this episode with a woman who's ready to create real, intentional, profitable growth in 2026. Your weekly action step is to pick one of those strategies, create your and get shit done. Remember, your next level is not created by doing more. It's created by doing the right things in the right order and the right energy. So, with that, I will see you next week. Bye for now.
That's a wrap for today's episode of Big Money Sales Moves. Say goodbye to hustle and grind and burnout, and hello to ethical sales and Alpha Queen strategies. If you're ready to master high-ticket sales, scale your business, or grow your empire, head on over to www.alphaqueencollective.com and make your next big money move today.